Okay, let me hit record. Okay, we're going to get started today. It's Friday. It's very nice outside. I'm sure you want to get on your way today. Um, I also want to get on my way, and we're headed to the cabin. We have a cabin in Grand Rapids as soon as this is done, and I got to get there. One of the reasons is that we're planning a trip taking students to Ireland in the spring, and one of our coach drivers who we've worked with a lot before, we're chatting at 5 o'clock our time. So I have to get to the cabin, so I'm on high-speed internet by 5 o'clock so that I can chat with him because he's 6 hours ahead of us, I think, in Ireland right now. So yeah. So it's like 11 o'clock at night. It will be at his time, but he said that's what it works out with him. Okay. A couple announcements. One is just a quick thing about advising. So again, this doesn't impact you if you're not a first year student, but there's a number of first year students in this class. I just want to mention that some courses you should be looking at often. If you're a computer major and you're taking the CIS principles in the fall, you'll take computer architecture in the spring. So that's the CIS 2011 class in the spring there. If you're in the programming 1 course, you take the programming 2 course there. Another thing just to note, if you're a computer major, because you'll have a DIG advisor, they don't often know all the majors in detail. But remember, as a computer science major or a computer major, your natural science class is generally taken care of with machine learning. So you generally don't have to take another natural science class or Veritas there. I should mention that we also have a data analytics minor. So I know some of you in this class is part of the data analytics minor. So if you want to do more but don't want to be a computer major, you can do a data analytics minor. Keep that as an option too. I have my advising calendar here. If you want to just talk to me about any of this stuff, you can sign up for an advising spot, either stop in person or Zoom. You can sign up for advising slots. First year students will have to meet with their DIG advisors to get their PIN. But again, we often recommend that, especially now, you might want to meet with if you're going into computing, you can meet with someone in computing like myself if you have questions and stuff like that. So another just quick point, I do this in my other class. I've decided to start doing it in this class. I'm going to start recording Zoom lessons for this class here. So I'll record the class sessions and post them. So here's Monday Zoom and here's Wednesday Zoom. So if you miss class on Wednesday, you can go into Unit A here and do that. Actually, I want that up there. And then I'm recording this one and we'll post this down here for that. So again, if you're gone, often it's really helpful for athletes who are gone, but for others who are gone, it's on Zoom. And some people just find it useful just to review the material afterwards there. So I'm going to start doing that. So what are we going to do today? So we're going to keep going through 4.4. Remember, this is just the first week in Unit 4, so there's nothing due this week here. 4 things. You're working on your reflections here, but nothing is actually due yet. So we're going to go over here and we're going to do 4.4 today and work through this. This is a logo example. Logo is an old programming language. It's also sometimes called turtle graphics, where the idea is that you have a little robot or a little turtle that you can program, and you can just tell it to either step forward or turn right or turn left there. And there's some simple commands that you can work with this little turtle to move it around. And that's what we're going to be working with in App Inventor there. I'll just warn you, this is logo part 1, and then we will get to logo part 2. Now, it's not in this, so I don't see a logo part 2. It's in a future chapter here. If I look at this and look at chapter 5, logo part 2 is there. So you want to, if you want to do this and save it, because we'll revisit that later on in the next in 2 weeks, basically. So again, we're doing logo part 1 here. I'm just going to open up this little text tutorial and then scroll down. You want to go down to the tutorial. And again, we want to open up this template because there's a whole bunch of code already set up for you. So go down to the tutorial for 4.4, find the template, open that up in App Inventor. You should see application like this here with some buttons across the top for this stuff. And then if you go into blocks, you see a bunch of blocks. These are all minimized here. I can expand them to show you what they look like. So here's the forward block. So again, this just moves things forward. We're drawing things on a canvas with a pen here. So again, we're taking so many steps forward here to a new location. We're then drawing a line from our old location to our new location there and stuff like that. So again, you don't have to worry about these blocks. And again, each one of these is collapsed here. So this is all programmed for you. We're just going to add stuff to this button here, the draw button. So again, open this up, get it open, and bring it up on a phone, and we'll try it out. Let me get my phone going here too. Yep. Okay, maybe we'll just close. Maybe we'll all leave then. You know, it is Friday and it's nice out. So yeah, just let us know when you're leaving, and we can maybe decide if we just all want to leave. Yeah. Not in 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes. Why? Yeah, we have to, right, yes. Funny, I went without a class that I'm thousands of dollars for. Yes. Wanting to leave. I have to leave. Okay. Yeah, so you can certainly leave anytime you want. Okay, let's pop that up here. So once you run this, it should run there, and you'll see there's these buttons, and there's a little turtle. We are not using a turtle, we're using an Android, green Android-like thing as our turtle for this. And then you can tell it to go forward, and it'll draw a line forward. It kind of hides the line, so you can actually hit hide and show to show the little turtle, Android turtle. And then you can turn to the right and then go forward and then right and then go forward and right and then forward. Now I'll just warn you, where the Android is showing up and where it draws is not quite right, it looks like today. But again, if it hide, you can see that that we draw those things. You can also lift the pen up and down. So here, let's show. So if I want to turn right and I go forward. Now, if I want to lift up the pen, I can lift up the pen and go up, and I can put the pen down and draw again. Lift up the pen, draw, or go forward, put down the pen. So I can draw or not here. Reset just clears everything off. So try that a little bit. And right now the draw button doesn't do anything. And that is what we're going to program, is we're going to program the draw button. So see if you can set that up. I'll come around and see if you need any help. And we're going to try to do the draw button here. Is there a way to... Okay, so we're going to want to draw this face on the screen here, or something like that for this. And so we're going to work on that. So again, we're going to tie it into the draw button here and set that up. So we're going to add button. So there's a button draw here. I'm going to move that kind of over here by itself. And right now it just pops up a notifier, says I don't know how to draw yet. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to look under procedures, and there's a bunch of procedures to do things like step forward here. So if I want to do some forward, so let's say I want to draw, and let's just do maybe the big square. I'm going to draw the big square here. So I'm going to step forward. I'm going to go forward again. I'm going to go forward again. And then I'm going to turn. So there's a turn. Turn. You can only turn one direction. And I'm going to maybe duplicate some of those. I'm going to do a bunch of more step forwards. Now I'm going to try that out on my screen here. And I'm going to want to try to make a big square out of this. So, I need to reconnect my thing here. So now if I got that programmed in, I should be able to hit draw. And maybe I want to hide this when I'm done. I actually like to add the hide in here. Isn't there a hide? Show turtle. Turn that into hide turtle. Yeah. So I can hit draw. So again, oops, yeah, hide. So I'm going forward and then I'm turning. It looks like it turns to the right. And again, you want to draw a full square, a big square for, because again, we're drawing this face. We're going to go up, draw, maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 lines, then turn and draw this and turn and draw this. So we want to generate lots of those. Now I'll just tell you later on, we'll be doing, we'll look at ways to automate this better. But for now, you can just do a bunch of forwards and a bunch of turns here and see how that works. What? To drop this back to it. Stuck on the triangle. Spirit. Right. So. Let's bring it back to a square. Yes. So see if you can get at least a square made, and then we'll see if you can go from there. If you get a square made, see if you can maybe like this would be one eye of our screen. So we have to draw an eye and then another eye and then a mouth and then a big face here. So maybe this would be one eye for this. So again, I can reset this. I can like, let's say if I lift up I can go to some location. And then when I get there, I could say draw, draw an eye there. And then I could go to a different location and then draw another eye there and then draw. So, I want to do this all under the draw button eventually. But you can imagine this is going to get really long here. You've got to draw a square, and then want to lift up your pen, move, and then draw another square. So to organize this, we're going to put these in procedures. We're going to create, like that's what we have down here. So we're going to go to procedures. And again, that's what it suggests here. Create a, we want to do a procedure called like square 20. So every time we step forward, it's 10 pixels. So if I'm going forward and forward, that's 10 pixels and 10 pixels, that's 20 pixels. So this code here actually will draw a 20 by 20 pixel square. And I'm going to put that in its own procedure. So I'm going to make a procedure. I'm going to call this square. I could call it draw square, but I'm just going to call it square 20. And I'm going to put all this code inside of it. And now I'm just going to call that. Here's my square 20. So I moved that all out to the side and I caught. So now it should do the same thing. If it reset and it draw, it'll draw that looks like an eye. Oh, I'm saying it looks like an eye. It's almost Halloween. Maybe we should be making like a pumpkin or a jack-o'-lantern sort of stuff here, but we'll see. Okay, so I make one eye. So I draw one eye. Now I'm going to move a little bit so I can go back to just the normal ones. I can just say, I'm going to go forward and then go forward. And now I'm going to draw the second eye. So draw another square for the second eye for that and see how that works. So I'm going to hit reset, draw. I'm going to hide that. So draw, it made one eye and then went forward and made the other eye. But these look like he's wearing glasses because there's that line between them. I don't want the person to be that. I have glasses. So I'm going to hide the pen. So again, there's a pen up. I'm going to say pen up. And then I'm going to say pen down. I'm going to say pen up, move forward, pen down. Oops. And then draw the square. So I got my two eyes working. So your job is to keep working on this. See if you can get it to draw this figure here. We've got a square. We moved over, got another square. We want to go down, maybe do the mouth, or we want to do this big box. So, around it here. Now, to do the big box, you might want to make something that just does one side because that's going to be a long way. So you can do other procedures here for this stuff. One thing we'll see is you can do a loop to loop something a bunch of times. So we'll see that in just a sec too, if you want. So you can look at that for this. So start working on drawing this and making procedures that'll get this to work. So. Okay, So let's talk about some things and how to make this. So I'm trying to do, I did the square 20, I'm trying to do a square 50 here where I do 5 forwards and then a turn and 5 forwards and a turn. And I just get tired of duplicating these and dragging these. I have to do, so I mean, I have to do 4 sides. Here's one side, here's another side. I have to do this again and again. So I'm wondering, is there a way I can duplicate that? Here. And there is, under control, there's this for each block. For each whatever, and I can just leave this as number or count if I want to change it or whatever variable. And it counts from 1 to, I'm going to do it 4 times and counts by 1. So this means we're going to start at 1 and we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4. So count from 1 to 4 by ones. Sometimes you want to go 2, 4, 6, 8 or something like that. But here, generally, for us, we're just going to count by ones here. And then I'm going to move this into there. So this will draw a whole square. And I can actually do the same thing for my smaller square. I can go up to control, get this repeat. Because again, remember, forward, forward, turn, forward, forward, turn, forward, forward, turn, forward, forward, turn. 4 times I'm repeating this. I can get rid of that and just do this from 1 to 4. So that should be my square. And again, you should test these out a lot because sometimes I goof these up. So if I bring it up here and reset and draw and hide, I should still get right now I'm just doing my small eyes, draw one eye, pen up, move forward, draw another eye. And now maybe I want to draw one of my bigger squares to do the whole face and try that out. I have to reconnect this. My connection keeps dropping here. I don't know why. So if I hit draw here, it should draw one eye and another one, and that draw, they're not in the right location. So I have to watch somehow when I did this. Let's see if that, I'm gonna just reset and do that. Even that's not quite right. I think I'm facing the wrong direction here. I turn forward, turn forward, turn forward. I think I need to do one more turn here, actually. Let's see if that will do it. After I draw one square. Now that I'm doing it in a loop. No, that did not. I'm actually going to switch this, I think, around, and I did forward, forward, turn. I think I want to do, I did turn, forward, forward. I'm going to go forward, forward, turn. And that'll be a slightly different result there. And let's see if that's not quite right. Again, you got to play with this to try to get it to draw it in the right way. Looks good now. What if I do my big square? That's not quite what I want. So again, play with this, try to get this work. One other thing I'll suggest is like this square of 50 probably won't be big enough to fit everything in. You know, if I look at this bigger square and then the smaller squares, I can't fit two of the smaller squares inside the big square. So I want to make this even bigger yet with more forwards. And again, if I'm adding a bunch of forwards there, I might want to actually put that in a loop. So maybe I want to make a new procedure just to draw a long line. So I'm going to do a new procedure, maybe a line of 10. And I'm going to move all these forwards down there. And then I'm going to call that line 10 here. But I don't want to do that. I can actually use a loop. I can go to my controls and I can do a loop and I can do forward once, but I can repeat it like a bunch of times here for this. So now he draws a bunch of lines for that. Now, while I'm testing this out, I might want to just redo my draw button and just try out just like this one square button for now, and eventually move some other things into there. But I'm just going to try that out. So draw. That's a big square. That's probably too big. Let's try this 10. If you go off the screen, it'll kind of goof things up. I'll just warn you. So try not to go off the screen. There, that's a bigger square. So again, see if you can get this to work so that you can get this. Oops, reset. So my big square is not in the middle of my face. So I'll have to work on that. So keep working on that and see. Okay. I'm going to not show you anymore.